Sylvia, we go back into your room. It's actually, you don't hear any of the shenanigans. It's nice and quiet. It's you and the bath attendants. They're washing your hair. And they now ask you, do you need any additional services?
Why is all of this necessary? And what is this ritual called?
This is bathing. Do you need anything else? And give me an overall charisma check. Let's see if you can pick up on the subtle undertones.
Nope.
Nope. Wow. And they look you
Sounds about right.
straight in the eye, as they're like, any other services? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
If it's necessary.
And so they stop washing your hair because it's finally done, and they start massaging you. And their hands start getting a little bit too low on your chest. Do you stop?
Why is this necessary?
You asked for this? And they seem a little confused.
Is this what's required by the king?
The king said to give you whatever you wished.
I do not wish this. It's what you guys wish.
And they nod in confirmation and stop.
Okay, if they stop. Is that all?
Do you need any more time in the bath?
No.
And so they help you out of the bath since it's kind of a high basin. And they start politely drying you off. And by the time this is all over, this is probably like about an hour or two process as this is happening. They give you back your clothes. Your clothes smell nice, kind of like flower petals. And like they've taken the time to treat the fur really nice. And they've even mended any tears that were in it from adventuring.
Probably so many. She quickly gets dressed and goes to find the others.
Yep. So the event with the sake bottle just happened. And what is Rena doing at this very second as your companion goes out?
Right as Taras ran out, Lena sat there for just a moment, just seething with anger. Finally gets up from the bath and just walks over and grabs a towel, muttering under her breath, idiot, what am I doing? Working with this. So stupid. Why did I agree to it? And she's just muttering and complaining, and she's drying off and starting to put things back on.
Mm-hmm. The bath attendants ask you if you need any help drying off.
No!
Yep, you see your companion, Rena, or Sylvia, you see your companion, Rena. She looks like she just had something happen that she was very unhappy with, especially with the grumblings. And she seems a little hostile at the moment. Do things explode when Rena gets hostile?
Not necessarily.
Not a 50-50 chance?
At this point, like, she's not looking to just randomly blow stuff up.
Yet.
Most of the time.
That's good.
Only if something seems intimidating, or if he was still in the room, she might be
shooting little fire bolts at him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something little.
Learn from the past. Just run.
Sylvia, any reaction, or is this just like business as usual?
Business as usual.
So we pan off to Taurus, who has his clothes in one arm. Has his clothes in one arm, has a bottle of sake, is completely nude, and running through the palace grounds. um, let's see. I don't think you're being stealthy, so it wouldn't be a stealth check. You're trying to be
Could I?
quick, though, right?
Yeah. Could I kind of like do an acrobatics check to see if I can like, it's like you turn a corner on one foot, you like slide a little bit, and you kind of like jump and like maybe put like one leg through some pants and like hold on to the jug of sake with my mouth or something like that as I'm just kind of like running through the castle.
I am going to let you do that, but with disadvantage because you don't really know this area as well, and there might be like a pothole or something to stumble on that you don't realize. So let's see
Oh, totally.
how well you do.
All right, so disadvantage and acrobatics. Oh,
If I could roll disadvantage like that all the time, I would be happy. So, 16. Yeah, you do marginally well with that. I'm gonna say you don't spill a drop, but
woohoo!
a piece of clothing does give you a little bit of trouble. What is it?
Um, he'll probably it's probably just gonna be his regular shirt. Like, okay, got the sake mug in my on my like holding it with my teeth, trying to get the shirt on. Like, screw it, and he just kind of like throws it down for a second and just just as long as like pants are fine, don't need anything else right now.
And you hear suddenly a familiar voice, or no, actually not a familiar voice, but a silhouette of a shadow that stretches over you that you saw a little bit earlier. Why, hello there.
Do I recognize who it is?
As you look up, our view goes from her feet, which, yeah, they're in high heels, why not? Goes up the curvy body, and it lingers on her tiefling face. It's that tiefling from before who was giving you some dangerous eyes before.
Mm. It'll probably be one of those scenes of like, he just kind of throws the shirt down as he's going, and he's just kind of like sees her, stops, and just kind of like I'm sure his like feet are wet, so he kind of like slides across like the wooden floor a little bit, and is like kind of scampers back, like hello.
You're Sylvia's friend, aren't you?
Companion, yeah.
Tomatoes, tomatoes. And
What can I do for you?
I. How do I put this delicately? I was trying to catch up with Sylvia and tell her a message, but she wouldn't really give me a time of day. But she's always been like that since she's been a little tiny child. And I was wondering if you could give her this little tiny letter. And from her, she's probably has a low cut shirt on, and she pulls a letter out from like her cleavage area because why not? That's classy.
Constitution save to not lose blood loss.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Nope.
Now,
Nope.
this is more of a spray than like that moment where you were like, okay, my two companions are naked now. I can't look. I can't think about this. And, a little drop of blood. No, this is like, gush.
Other lady I don't know anything about.
Yep. And she looks amused as you gush blood from your nose.
I'll use my shirt that's nearby and just kind of like cover it up. It's like, yeah, that always happens when beautiful ladies are nearby.
I'm sure. And she gets close to you. It seems like this woman has no sense of personal space. and she puts the letter between the few inches of you and her, and she holds it in such a way where basically good cleavage shot for the camera, and where you might actually accidentally touch her anyways, but it seems like it's on purpose, so.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those it's that moment. Could I I'm a terrible human being. Um yeah, no, I will take the letter from her.
Okay.
Uh and then can I roll sleight of hand to see if I can get a little bit further, if you know what I mean?
Yes, please. Let's just
All right.
see how much we can push it tonight.
No whammy. Oh, thank God.
So, how much further do you take this?
Enough to where she notices.
Um, she does notice, and she, like, there's a deep blush on her. Let's just say she's, like, blue, and she, like, literally turns, like, almost violet in that moment. But her eyes just kind of give you the, oh, look.
Can I roll persuasion and say something like, I haven't seen a tiefling turn that color before?
Persuasion? It would be some kind of charisma check, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it wouldn't really be. Maybe just charisma.
Performance.
Oh, here we go. This is where I'm probably going to get hit upside the head with a mace. Yep.
I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, you might put on the sleeves a little bit too, like, just enough, but you
Yep.
coast by. And
Oof.
she gets a little bit closer and whispers in your ear. If you play your cards right, you might see a little bit more of this tiefling. And she turns around. She makes sure that she strokes you somewhere on your body with her tail. We'll leave that up to the imagination. And she will.
Constitution check?
Yes.
All right.
You might have lost enough blood that there's, like, nothing left to do it, or you're just holding your ground right now because it's like, oh.
Oh, oh my.
And
One of those moments where it's just a trickle, but the face is just going pale.
yep.
Yep.
And she walks off to somewhere on the grounds.
My next action is to head to the laundry hut to clean up the massive blood stain now all over my shirt. I'm pretty sure my shirt is now red.
Yep, it's just red. Rena, you were making your way out of this hut. I mean, out of the bathhouse.
Yep.
And
Probably going along with Sylvia.
yep. You probably both exit at the same time. You're fully clothed, and you see your companion fully stopped, and basically fondling and getting fondled back by this tiefling that was bothering Sylvia earlier. This is probably when the hammers come out.
And this is this does Rena see the whole?
You see the very in transaction of this, whisper, caress, leave. Well, both of you
She's
do.
going to walk further ahead and she's going to say, "Oh, are you a worker here too?"
Damn.
And as Taras turns back. I'm assuming turning back towards us.
Mhm.
A mage hand just comes up and slaps him across the face.
Ha!
It's gonna take that. Think he's gonna think it's probably from the tiefling, not knowing that it's coming from Rena, just because blood loss and other distraction. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
she is feisty.
And also going to use that to try and take back the sake bottle.
Okay. Roll me. Oh, probably just a sleight of hand to see if your mage hand can actually do that.
Ugh.
Nope. You get slapped and you feel a tugging at the sake bottle.
I'm just gonna hold on to it as I'm walking over to the laundry tent. Like, gotta clean up this shirt. What's this about a letter? I'll just wait till blood comes back.
Drat.
And we get back to Sylvia and her scathing remark. And the tiefling just smiles. Like you, I'm being paid for services, but I'm not on a suicide mission.
That's the only way we know how to live.
They actually want to keep me around.
She doesn't say anything. Like at all. She just does a blank stare. Like she doesn't care.
Yeah. Deep down inside, though. No. Probably nothing.
No, she does not care. at
The
all.
rage builds.
She hates trivial lives.
Well, it seems like with this lady, it's really trivial. Yeah, and she just chuckles to herself, looking back at Sylvia, and walks somewhere off into the other part of the palace grounds.
So, Paul,
Yes.
I'd like to be a little bit nefarious here, if I may.
Well, you just were, so I don't see the problem with that.
All right. So is the letter in an envelope, correct?
No, it's the old timey. It's a sealed letter, with a wax seal that if you do break it, it might be noticeable, unless you're like, some kind of roguey mastermind.
Or maybe have the spell called mending?
Yeah, or that.
Okay, so inside said hut, while quote quote washing my shirt, I need to know what this is all about.
Okay.
So, I'll gently kind of open the letter and then read it.